Finally it's time to go home. John Harper is happy. He is especially happy because he is on holiday now. Today was a particularly hard day at work. John works as a welder in a private boatyard in Fort Lauderdale. They build the really big yachts there for rich people who like to get rid of an average of 10 million as quickly as possible. Today was a particularly hot day. The sweat was pouring down his face. But that doesn't interest him anymore. His thoughts are already on holiday preparations. He wants to go on a boat trip with his best friend Billy Carter. He plans to go to the Bahamas and then to Bermuda to go diving. He and his friend are passionate divers and treasure hunters. The two of them especially like diving at old shipwrecks. Last year he found old coins and a beautifully decorated dagger. He is excited to see what they will find this time. John is 38 years old, has blonde hair, is tall and well-built. His friend Billy is a little shorter, has dark hair and is a little fat. But in the water he moves as smoothly as a seal. John has to laugh when he thinks of Billy. Billy always has a funny saying ready. As soon as he gets home he will call him. He has good news for Billy. This time his boss has lent him his boat. It is a small yacht and is in the port of Fort Lauderdale. His boss has taken him to task a bit and told him to bring his yacht back in one piece. John has a very good relationship with him and values him very much. After John takes a shower at work, he goes to the parking lot, gets into his GMC pickup truck and drives home. He lives just outside of Fort Lauderdale in a suburb.
Visit my fan shop alienaria.myspreadshop.com and view my designs. I have men's, women's, children's and baby fashion. I also have accessories such as hats, mugs, water bottles and bags. Take a look, you are very welcome. Alienaria, the slightly different shop.
Surprisingly little traffic. John got home quickly. The first thing he does is go to the fridge and treat himself to a cold, refreshing beer. His favorite brand of beer is Stella Artois. It's a Belgian beer with a spicy taste. Then he sits down on the sofa, takes a deep breath and picks up his smartphone. He calls his buddy Billy using FaceTime video chat. "Hello, Billy. Are you all packed?" asks John. "Of course. I called in sick to work especially for this." "Yeah, typical you. I sweated it out at work. But I have good news." "Okay, out with that, John. What's the good news?" "My boss lent me his yacht for our vacation." "Cool. It was about time he did something good. You work really hard for him too." "Okay, Billy. I wanted to tell you that we're meeting at the port of Fort Lauderdale at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning." "That sounds good, John. I'll bring us breakfast." "Okay, see you tomorrow morning. I just have to pack my equipment and things." "Okay, have a nice evening," says Billy and ends the video chat. John packs his things. He has an old duffel bag that fits everything. Then he checks his diving equipment and stows everything in his truck. After everything is stowed away, he watches a bit of TV. There is a documentary about the Bermuda Triangle on the History Channel. An Air Force plane's onboard camera recorded an unidentified flying object that flew in a zigzag pattern and then quickly dived into the Atlantic and disappeared. John laughs. He doesn't believe in such things. He's very down to earth. He has another beer and goes to sleep. He wants to get up very early the next morning. That night John has a very strange dream. He dreams of a woman. She is young and attractive. Judging by her race, she must come from Southern Europe. In his dream she shows him an ancient amulet in a very seductive way. This radiates a bluish energy. Suddenly he sees ancient ruins that radiate the same energy. Strange statues of beings with oversized heads and very large eyes. It reminds him of the statues on Easter Island. Suddenly he hears the woman's voice. "I'll wait for you." At that moment John wakes up. He looks at his smartphone and a damn slips out of his mouth. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. He still has 2 hours before he has to get up. The full moon is shining through his window. He thinks that this full moon must have caused his strange dream. He lies down again but cannot sleep. John thinks about the meaning of this dream. What is this strange amulet? What are these ruins? Eventually he begins to sleep again. The alarm throws John out of bed. He is clearly tired and wants to smash his smartphone, but he controls himself and gets up. Sleepily he goes to the bathroom, and after an ice-cold shower he is finally awake. He takes his last things for the trip and goes to his pickup truck. He is looking forward to a coffee at Starbucks, and then he wants to buy a few groceries to use as supplies for the trip, including beer. He likes to drink a lot of beer on vacation. Luckily the yacht has a refrigerator and a well-equipped kitchen. When John finally arrives at the harbor, his buddy Billy is already waiting for him. "There you are at last," he says. "I have a surprise." "What kind of surprise?" asks John. "Rufus. Here," Billy calls out as a command. A medium-sized dog comes out from behind a bush. It is a male Labrador with dark fur. He wags his tail happily and greets John curiously. Billy says, "As you know, I do volunteer work at the animal shelter. Rufus and I became good friends there, and so I adopted him. I can't leave him alone. Is it okay with you if we take him with us?" "Yes, of course," replies John. "Let's find out where the yacht is," says John, and the three of them set off.